everyone. I'm Assemblyman John McKeon, and welcome to NJ Today. Well, this is our inaugural show, and what I hope to bring you as we go forward is some prominent figure from state government, a local figure to kind of interface with the state and that important partnership, and then someone special from New Jersey, which is just filled with people that are ahead of all the different areas, just as sciences, education, and entertainment. So come with us on the journey, and who better than our inaugural guest than the Honorable Richard J. Codey. Governor Codey, welcome here.
It's a thrill to be your first guest on one of many, many shows for years to come, John, and to be at a great university like Seton Hall. It's been close to me and my family.
Well, we know that that Seton Hall, who's been amazing in putting together the production for this, is both of our favorite, if not our alma maters.
Especially since we represent them.
That's it. Dick, you know, we could 38-year career. We could do hours just talking about your public service.
Yeah, but you always bring up how long it is because you want to succeed me.
Yeah, that's I'm
the
trying
bad
to throw
news
out.
is my blood work was good, the stress test was good, John. I'm not going anywhere soon.
Oh God, he's a young 60. It's killing me. In earnest, Dick, you know, you've been through an awful lot in 38 years, but here as we sit in 2010, it's been a pretty extraordinary time. What are your feelings now? How's Christie doing, Governor Christie? And
I think, John, on some of his policies I agree with. You know, when I was governor, I did something that was a little unconventional, especially as a Democrat. I raised the issue of New Jersey cannot afford the health benefits and the pension benefits going forward the way they are back
need
in
an adjustment in the way
yeah, we had to change it. We called it the Murphy Report, and so I sounded the warning in terms of going forward, we can't afford it at this level, so I certainly give him credit for that. However, you know, every governor has their own style, and he has his, and for me it's a little too sometimes over the top. I think it's wrong to pick on a profession as a whole, and clearly he's done that with the teachers. I think that's wrong. So, you know, for self-esteem, I'd give him an A+.
Well, he does not lack confidence. That's for sure. You're pretty good with that too, though.
Oh, get out of here! But you know, going forward, it remains to be seen because you know he cut tremendous amounts of money in terms of aid to schools, aid to towns. You know, money that our towns send to Trenton. We're now getting back a much, much lower percentage of that money in school aid and in town aid, and as a result, property taxes may raise, layoffs of police and fire, class size up. That's tough. I understand we're in bad shape, but, you know, there's...
We've got some work to do. What do you think about the ARC tunnel, you know, as far as the decision?
I thought, you know, the governor's decision was wrong. It's easy to make a decision now that doesn't have a direct impact today, but in the next couple of decades, John, when people can't get to the city to work, you know, it's just ridiculous to try to drive a car into New York City at rush hour. We all know that. It was something that was needed for the economy of the state of New Jersey, and in the long run, it's just a really terrible decision for the economy of the state of New Jersey and a large class of people. You know, John, in Manhattan nowadays, you get married, and the first time your wife says to you, "I'm pregnant," you say, "Okay, where are we going to move to? South Orange, Maplewood?"
Moving out of the city to.
They're moving out. They want to go to the suburbs, and they want to go to New Jersey, but they want to be able to commute into the city because those are where their jobs are. And in 10 to 15 to 20 years, they won't be able to do that.
Yeah, part of the problem is that those people, same folks, have an option for Connecticut. They have an option for Westchester County.
as well.
We got to be competitive.
Oh, I want them here.
You know, so between quality of life, just from a perspective of doing what's right environmentally, with just the pollution that would be saved through more rail.
And the other thing is, you know, now we owe the government $300 million. We lose 6,000 jobs per year for the next 3 years. So, you know, listen, I understand what the governor was saying, but when you balance the two things, I fall on the continuing the tunnel.
You've been involved in a couple other topical things now. One relative to the NJSIA, the independent body that governs high school athletics. There had been a move afoot to close them down and fold it into the Department of Education. And related to that is concussion precautions.
Well, too, unfortunately, the NJIA has gotten some bad press. I think they do an excellent job, I was just thinking about ticket prices. Well, I've been in the legislature 38 years. I don't know about you, John. I've never had a constituent call me up and say, I went to the state tournament game and the ticket price was too high.
Yeah, it cost me $7 to go in and see.
Right. I mean, listen, when you rent the new Giant Stadium, it's not free. So you can imagine per day what it costs to rent that place. And they do a very good job. I speak to athletic directors all the time and they say, you know, Governor, one thing about the association, you call down there about a question, eligibility or whatever, you get an answer in about 15 minutes. Now, if it goes over to the Department of Education or the school association, that's not going to happen. And New Jersey's governing body for high school athletics is considered one of the finest in the country. So I don't want to put it into the political hands of people to make decisions. It's a similarity to the NCAA. They're independent, but they're a governing body.
It's usually, government doesn't usually do things better than independent bodies when it comes down to it, or more efficiently, that's for sure. And concussion precautions, I know you've been at the forefront of a lot of that. We've been hearing more and more from the professionals and certainly
well, we got this bill that you co-sponsored graciously in the Assembly, and I sponsored in the Senate, and now going to the governor for his signature. And obviously, timing couldn't be better. I mean, too many of our athletes are suffering concussions, and in the past, you know, they were allowed to continue to play, and that was a mistake. And we all know the stories of people who played in high school, college, and even in the NFL now having neurological problems as a result of too many hits. So what this bill does is require a whole protocol when someone's hit a hit to the head, what they must look for to go back playing, doctor certificate, so forth.
And we're focusing on football, but the truth be told, whether it's soccer or basketball, any sport, you know, it could be baseball getting struck.
As you know, I coach basketball, so anytime a kid hits a wall, hits the court, you know, he comes out, and unless I can really feel comfortable that he doesn't have a concussion, no. You go see the doctor with your parents, and then we'll talk.
Now, your signature issue has been mental health advocacy, and clearly in times that are most difficult from a budget perspective, that ends up being in the back of the shelf, not being a lot of people, quite frankly, that vote or have a lot of folks looking out for them for that reason. Where do you see that on a going forward basis?
Well, one of the things is they wanted to, the governor wanted to close Hagedorn, which is a facility in northwest New Jersey, John, that basically takes care of the mentally ill who are elderly. So it's a unique class of patients, and they do a very good job. And I've been very critical of the state at times in terms of how we treat our mentally ill. And these are people, once again, who are all poor, many times abandoned by their families, and to put them into a setting, a real institutional setting, because I visited Hagedorn, and it's more of a community setting in terms of it's not an institution with bricks. It's like a house setting, a large house. So I don't want these people moved to a Trenton Psychiatric Hospital or a Greystone Psychiatric Hospital. It's not where they need to be. They need to be with people who have been treating them for the last 10 years, which they're comfortable with. So myself and Senator Doherty, a Republican, we joined forces.
Bipartisan way to look out for those families and families around the state. And if you didn't feel that way yourself, your wonderful wife, our former First Lady, Mary Jo Codey, would make sure you did. As
she wanted to come on the show, but she's a teacher, and she figured if she took the day off, the governor might find out and yell and scream.
We'd be in trouble. We don't want no controversy or issues here. Well, I hope you enjoyed our first segment. I want you to stick with us for more with former Governor Dick Codey, and we're going to be joined by West Orange Mayor Robert Parisi, and then the ultimate Jersey boy joins us right here on NJ Today. Stay with us.